Hey, what's up? What's up? This is Robert J. Parker. Thanks for tuning into this training. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to set up a basic marketing funnel. If you're doing any type of marketing out there, whether it's a product or a service, you have to have a marketing funnel online. You have to have a systematic way of being able to generate prospects and leads. And so today, I'm going to be getting in and showing you how to get something set up here online. If you haven't had a chance to go over to my blog yet, you're not familiar with who I am, make sure you go over to thebiglabs.com. That's a blog that I publish. I pretty much cover content based around personal development, marketing, business, entrepreneurship, things like that. I'm also the founder of the Big Network, which is a private membership / mastermind network where we've accumulated a group of like-minded individuals who are looking to actually get out here and create freedom in their lives using their 3 pillars of freedom. That's time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom. So if you want to be able to check out what we're doing, just go over to facebook.com/thebiglabs and you'll be able to check out us over there, or you can check us out on Google at google.com/thebiglabs online. And let's go ahead and get into today's training. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the marketing funnel. And when it comes to your marketing funnel, there's 3 key components that you want to have in place. First of all, you want to have a source of traffic. If you can have the best product, the best service, the best offer out there, but if no one sees it, you're not going to make any revenue. You're not going to generate any profits. So you got to have a good source. The next component that you need is what we call a landing page or a squeeze page. And then the third component is a list. It's some type of mechanism that allows you to be able to manage a mailing list, an email list. And so what we're going to do is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the source. I'm going to talk about landing pages. I'm going to talk about lists, and then I'm going to talk about what you do with this traffic or the viewers or the listeners or the readers that's coming to your actual content. First of all, source. Your source, first of all, here's a list of sources. One is ads. Okay, we are all familiar with ads out there. We've seen newspaper ads, classified ads. We've seen Google ads, things like this. Okay, this can cover a wide assortment of types of ads. Now, basically, what I try to tell people who are just getting started online is that pretty much you just want to focus on a few types of ads to be able to get your feet wet and to be able to learn the concept of advertising online. And so what I usually do is I usually direct them towards either free sources or just a couple of paid sources. Now with the free sources, I usually direct them to Backpage.com or Craigslist.com. So Backpage or Craigslist, either one of those will allow them to be able to go in and craft a free online classified. Now Craigslist itself is like in the top 15 most heavily trafficked sites on the internet. So we're talking about a lot of traffic. But now the key with the free classified sites is since they've been hammered so hard with spammers and things like that, you have to go in and you have to get creative how you put your ads on there. And you have to do things in a professional way to be able to actually make this work. Because one of the pitfalls of free classified sites is that, again, since it's so open, you have a lot of spam there. That Craigslist and sites similar to it, a lot of times you can get penalized for things that you didn't really do. So you want to get on there and you want to actually try to come up with a creative way that's according to guidelines to be able to place ads on there. But if you can do that and you can get your ads to stick, man, you can get a lot of traffic from sites such as Craigslist, Backpage, US Free Ads, things like that. Now, the second way is by doing what we call paid advertisement. And one of the best places that I think that you can go and do paid advertisement right now is Facebook. You know, here over the last month and a half, I've been testing some campaigns in various niches. And for bang for buck and return on investment and also being able to see who it is that's seeing your ads, I don't think you could do a better buy than Facebook right now because they have the actual ability of being able to allow you to drill down when it comes to your demographics. Because why? They have all the information on a person on their page. So you can go into Facebook and you can say, look, I want to actually target individuals that are between the ages of, say, 25 to 40, who has a household income of this much, who was just recently married. They live in this area. They like this type of hobby. You get the idea. You can drill down really deep. And also with Facebook, from my test, um, when it comes to the cost of views and engagement, you can't beat it. I've done Google AdWords in the past, a long, long time ago, and it was good. But Facebook is like AdWords on steroids because you get all the front end data, but you get all the back end data also. You really get a transparent view of your advertisement. And I haven't seen anything out there that's been able to deliver like Facebook. So I would check in and doing Facebook ads. Now, the type of ads I've been testing is what they call timeline ads. Some people call these, they fit right in the middle of a person's timeline, almost like if you were a friend of the person's and you posted a picture, shared a photo, that's the same way your ad would show up in the middle of their timeline. And for my actual test and the way it works is that a view is not counted unless the page goes up and down. So it has to look like a person. But then engagement is when a person clicks on your picture, they clicks on your link or something like that. And my engagement was cheap. And I mean, I was pretty close to down to 1 point something cent per engagement. So it was super cheap. Okay. Now your second source of traffic could be from a blog. You know, if you actually publish a blog out there like I do, you know, you can actually generate traffic to your landing page via a blog post. And in later trainings, we'll get into that a little bit more specific to show you how to go out here and to craft a post that has a chance of being able to generate a lot of engagement with it. And then you can take that post and point it that way. Okay. The next way, which is a really good way, is video traffic. So to keep things simple, even though you have various video platforms out there, we're going to talk about the granddaddy of them all, which is YouTube. You can actually go in and create a video or a video series that is providing some type of content of value. And then at the end of the video, you do a call to action where you send them to a landing/squeeze page from the video. The other way is a podcast. That's something I'm testing myself right now. Right now, I'm actually doing a little bit of all this right now. But on the podcast thing, I think I'm on episode 13 or 14. And my whole goal is to get to 100 episodes. And what I'm doing on my podcast, I'm pretty much talking about personal development. I'm doing case studies about things that I'm doing with my business. Later on, I'm planning on integrating interviews, you know, with just like thought leaders out there, marketers, things like that. And then what I'm going to be doing with my podcast is actually taking the podcast and in each episode doing some type of call to action where I send a person to a landing page. And the only way you can find out about that specific landing page is you had to listen to that specific podcast. And that allows me to be able to test. It allows me to be able to test the content of my podcast, my call to action, and my landing page, and then later on my offer based off of that specific podcast. Now, with both of these videos and podcasts, depending on how you publish them, like on your video inside of YouTube, you can actually include a link in the description that points towards your landing page. And you can do the same thing with podcasts, and you can do that on your blog also too. Okay, the next way is by postcards. Now, you can actually create a postcard. And I'm going to actually go get one. Hold on one second. Okay, here's a postcard. Let me try to get you guys to be able to see that. That's the front end of it. This is for one of the actual, one of the offers I'm marketing right now. And this is the back of it. So as you notice on the front, I have pictures and everything that are creating some type of texture and some type of environment and look. Then I say, live a big life, wake up paid with us.com, turn this card over. This is for business opportunity here that I'm marketing. Okay. And then when they turn over here, I have my actual sales copy and my direct response mechanism there with a call to action. Okay. Then what happens is they go from this postcard and they go to a landing page. Now, right now, I've been using these like business cards. Okay. I've been using these almost like a tool that I hand out on my hand. and I got 5,000 of them made up for right at $200. That was right at $150 because I actually did the artwork on it myself, and $100 to get the cards done, $50 to get them shipped here. But it gave me 5,000 tools to have in my hand, and I use them like a business card. So when I'm out and about and I'm moving throughout my day, I can hand these out to individuals that look like they fit the demographic of what I'm trying to reach with this particular business opportunity. Now, another way that you can do with a postcard is that you can send them through direct mail. You can go out and you can actually purchase a list of individuals that make up your demographic, and then you can send a postcard directly to them in the mail with the same type of offer and push them to a landing page. Okay, so that's what postcards. And we'll get into that. I'll be doing some training on postcards a little bit more in depth later on in the training. Okay, last but not least is social. Now we're talking about things such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus, and even YouTube. Okay, now what a lot of people don't understand is that if you're working with and I'm just going to say from a Facebook fan page, because I'm not even going to talk about a personal profile, but you can do it from your profile. But if you have a page on Facebook or one that's on Google Plus, a Google Plus page, and you have your Twitter account, your Instagram, things like that, you can actually post up value-based content and then actually include a link and a call to action for a person to come and to actually access what it is that you're giving away. So you can tell them that you're giving away a free report, a free video training, or go here to get the rest of the actual content that you're sharing on these platforms, and you can drive it to a landing page. Okay? Now let's go ahead and let's talk about the landing page, the squeeze page itself. Now there are different platforms out there. Like the one that I use is one that it's a WordPress plugin. Okay, and it's called Instapage, and it cost me, I want to say, right around $50 or $70, but it allows me to be able to go in and create unlimited landing pages. And with this actual software, I can do a lot of neat things with the software as far as customization and things like that. I could change up the look of the landing page, the size, the content on there, video, audio. I could do anything with the landing pages. And so I have that, but it also allows me to do what we call a squeeze page. And the difference on a landing page and a squeeze page is that with a landing page, a person just lands on that page, and the way that it's supposed to work is that whatever ad or content that you had that drove them there, that landing page is supposed to be relevant to what that offer was that you were offering. And so sometimes on the landing page is where you would just have the actual content. Other times you would take the landing page and use it as a wall to extract contact information from your visitors. And that's what we call a squeeze page, because usually the way a squeeze page usually works is that you have like a background, you have an opt-in box. And the opt-in box has a headline, it has some content that has a call to action or offer. And then it actually requires them to put in either an email address or first and last name or email address. And what that allows you to do is the beauty of working with a squeeze page versus to a landing page is that, in sales, there is a standard or statistic out here. And statistics and time and things like that show that the average person has to come in contact with your product or your brand 7 times before they say yes. See, with this right here, with going directly to a landing page, you have no system in place to be able to keep the relationship going or to follow up on the relationship until that person actually buys from you. But by going the squeeze page route, you are extracting an email or either a first name in an email or first and last name in an email from your actual visitors. And this gives you the ability to be able to follow up with them. Now, what you could do is once you extract that information, you can follow up with them manually or you can follow up with them automated. So here, when it comes to squeeze pages, I use a piece of software called, I think it's Instapage, Instabuild, something like that, Instapage. And actually, I take that back. I use 2 different ones, okay? The first one is Instapage, and that's a web-based software. That's a web-based software that you use, and you can go anywhere from free to up. They got different tiers. Now, I actually did a training earlier, all you got to do is look at my YouTube archives where I share with you this web-based software. Okay, but then I have InstaBuilder, which is a WordPress plugin that allows me to do everything that I was just sharing with you a few minutes ago, to create my pages and things like that. Both of them allow me to create landing pages or squeeze pages. And what we're going to be talking about from this point on is a squeeze page because it makes the most sense. Okay, so what you want to do is once you drive your source of traffic to your squeeze page, then what's going to happen is they're going to enter their email address in, and then they're going to get added to a mailing list. Now, this is an email list. Now, there is a way that you can build a physical mailing list because all you would have to do on the squeeze page instead of asking for the email is ask for their mailing address. But remember, the more you do something like that, the less your conversions will be, unless your offer states that. Like one of the things you could do is say, okay, fill out your name and your physical address, and we're going to send you out something by the mail. But if they're getting something that's supposed to be online, then all you do is ask them for their email address. Make sense to you? Okay, good. Okay, so anyway, they come over here and they get added to a list. Now, there's various platforms out there you can use. You have a platform out there called GetResponse, which is a paid platform. I think it costs you right at between $14.99 and $19.99 to subscribe. I used to have an account with them. You have Aweber, which is probably the most known out there when it comes to internet marketing and things like that. And same thing, you're going to pay right around, that amount for Aweber. Had an account with them also. But who I chose to actually run with was a company called MailChimp, which is a really big company out there in the startup world and blogging and things like that. And they offer paid tiers, but they also offer free tier. And on their free tier, you can have up to 2,000 subscribers before you have to pay. I like them because they give me a lot of options when it comes to marketing and things like that. But then they also have a really slick interface, and they have some really professional looking tools and landing pages, newsletters. I mean, your tools, newsletters, and newsletter templates and things like that are with them. So I decided to go with MailChimp. Now, one of the things about MailChimp is that you can't do a lot of, what can I say? You can't do a lot of business opportunity marketing with MailChimp. So if you're going to be doing a lot of business opportunities, what I would advise you to do is to really clean your marketing up that you do with them, or to have a GetResponse account and a MailChimp account. Now, the way I'm positioning myself online, I'm positioning myself as a blogger, thought leader, person like this. And even though I market business opportunities, I wrap my business opportunities up inside of a different type of package. So I'm not out there saying, join this, make this much money, do all this right here on everything I do, even though I do it on some of my marketing. And actually, you'll see it on the postcard that I just did. That's what I do on the landing page. But at the same time, I try to keep a lot of that toned down so I can remain with MailChimp. But MailChimp is really cool because once you actually get your actual leads into here, you can do a couple things. One, you can go in and manually create a campaign, and that's send out an email to your list. Okay. Two, you can automate the process. You can go in and create your campaign ahead of time and then have it go out at a predetermined time in the future. So for individuals out there who are trying to optimize their time and be efficient and things like that, you can literally take one day at the beginning of the week or one day at the beginning of the month and go in and knock off most of your actual communication that's got to go to your list over that week or over that month. You can do that. Now, what I would advise you to do is once you build your list, I would advise you to communicate with your list at least once a week. And then have something big that you communicate with them once a month. Now, some people communicate with their list once a day, once every 3 days. Now, the power of a list is that a list will make you rich. Okay, I don't care what it is out there that you're selling, a widget or wadget, if you're doing a startup or if you're into business opportunities or if you're a blogger, your list will make you a fortune. Because when it comes to time for you to start offering products and services to your list, you need a list to be able to market to. It's a lot easier going to this list than doing this over here because these people over here, they have a relationship with you. You didn't build the relationship with them if you're actually following this the correct way. If you're building content and constantly content. Because what you can do with this list is you could take a blog post or a video and share it with your list via email. So that adds a way for a mechanism for you to stay in contact with them via email, even though you're doing all this over here. Now, the way that it works from there is that once a person gets on your list, okay, you can push them to content and offer. Now, another way that you can do this is, and the way that this really looks, okay, not another way, the way that this really looks in sequence wise, you do one of these over here, which is your source. They go to your squeeze page. They get added to your list today. At the same time, as soon as they're added to their list, they're redirected because this right here allows you to be able to go in and program it in a way to where you can push the actual visitor to something once they actually put in their information and push that button. And you're going to redirect them to one or two things, either to an offer or to content. Now, with an offer, you might be selling something, okay? You might be selling a product or a service. And so in your advertisement, you talked about this product or service. You gave them away something free, or you did an ad that drove them to a landing page and told them that they were going to get something like some information. And then they were pushed to an offer. Now, on that offer, you are providing them content, and then you're asking them to buy. Now, the second thing that you can push them to is pure content. So once you have them inside of your funnel and you have their email address and stuff, you can push them to further content to just further out the relationship that you started over here with that right there. And then what'll happen is in the future now, after today, in the future, you're going to regularly send them content or regularly send them an offer. Okay? And the way that this should look, the way that this should look is that you should send more content of value to your leads than offers. Now, some people do it different. Some people wrap an offer up at the end of every piece of content that they send. Now, you're going to have to determine what is comfortable to you, what makes sense to you for your business model. Now, the one that I'm doing is I'm trying to put together a lot of content. Okay, and so I have a lot of content to be sharing on my list. And I'm going to actually be doing, I'm actually doing this whole system here, but I'm actually going to be actually running an offer to my list probably twice a week. And I'm going to do it in a way to where it's in good taste, but I'm going to be offering them something twice a week. Now, what do you offer? You can offer them a product or service that you're selling. Like I have a list of things that I have built inside my business model that I do. One is web development, one is consulting. Okay, one is coaching. Then I'm actually an independent business owner with a company called Wake Up Now, where I can actually take an individual and show them how to actually go in and launch their own business for a couple $100. Okay, or if that person wants to launch a traditional business online, they can hire me for web development consulting services to work with them on that. But I'm actually coming out with a line of training products and services that are even, past what I just told you, that I'm going to be actually marketing to my list. So I'm going to have a lot of offers. But now another thing that you can actually market to your list is affiliate products. And basically what an affiliate product is where a company pays you a bounty or a commission for sending an actual lead to their page that converts into a sale. Amazon, Netflix, Walmart, Macy's.com all have affiliate programs out there. Now, you can go up and you can sign up for a product or a service that matches the demographics of your audience. And then you can get paid a commission off of products or services that you don't own just by offering that to your list. Make sense to you guys? Okay, good. Well, that's going to wrap up our marketing funnel training part one. Like I said, in the future, what I'll be doing is I'll be getting a little bit more in depth with these and probably fleshing out some of these different components and pieces. But currently right now, what I'm trying to do is show you guys what I'm doing inside of my business. This is what I'm doing inside of my business. I've actually got all this set up and running. Okay, I'm actually working with different landing pages, squeeze pages. I've been just coming up with different ones to go after different markets. Have my list set up, and then my content offer. Okay, so you can replicate this in your business. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave me a comment inside the comments on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Facebook, you can just respond there. If you're on my blog, wherever you're at, you can communicate with me on this, and I'll try to get back to you ASP. Well, thanks for checking out this content. Again, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you run over to my blog at www.thebiglabs.com. Check out what I'm doing over there. Subscribe to my blog, and you'll always stay updated on all the new content that I put out. You can follow me at Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/thebiglabs. And you can also check me out on Twitter at twitter.com/Orville J. Parker. And you can connect with me over at G Plus at google.com/thebiglabs. Okay, thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.